Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Delta Entertainment. I am your host, Liquor Kenobi. And before we get started, we'd like guys, please hit that like button and please subscribe to my channel. Would appreciate that very, very much. All right, let's get into this. So, Ubisoft, the last thing I said, the last time I talked about it, they were in full panic mode. That they were worried that people were gonna get laid off from the company, bro. But hey, you got what you deserve, Ubisoft. You got what you deserve by not listening to your gamers, and you guys are going along with this political nonsense, bro, and identity politics. That's what you guys get. Instead of going with entertainment and story, you guys decided to go with politics, and you gave the gamers a finger. So it's what you deserve, guys. It's what you deserve. So let's talk about this article. Ubisoft, Ubisoft stock collapses below €10 as shareholder revolt erupts over Tencent deal. So man, Tencent is a Japanese company, I believe, and wanted to do some serious changes, and they have done so many changes, man. All right, they have really put Ubisoft in the brink. So let's read this article and see what we got. Ubisoft's financial woes have reached a critical flashpoint. On April 5th, the company's stock fell below the psychological and financial significant threshold of €3 per share, an event that sends a clear signal to investors this company is now considered toxic. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they did that all right. Ubisoft stock has plummeted below €10, a threshold that in the financial world signals a dangerous trajectory toward becoming a penny stock. The first stage of this decline is marked by single digit share prices, a red flag for investors who now view Ubisoft as a poison stock, a risky asset prompting further divestment. This single digit milestone is often the initial symptom of a cancer that breeds volatility and, in the worst cases, bankruptcy. However, an even grimmer reality looms beneath the surface. As of April 5th, Ubisoft's total valuation stands at approximately $1.366 billion, a figure dwarfed by its reported debt. With non-IFRS net debt at €1.102 billion and IFRS net debt reaching $1.48 billion as of September 30th last year, likely higher now due to the ongoing financial strain. The company's market value is effectively eclipsed by its loan obligations. This dire situation places Ubisoft in a misamount of problems, including potential inability to pay workers or leverage in its intellectual properties for meaningful recovery. Tencent appears poised to swoop in and acquire Ubisoft, but this move won't halt the layoffs already underway. Whispers within the industry suggest that the most significant cuts are yet to come, with a major restructuring expected between June and July. This timing aligns with new financial report, which aims to reset the books and mitigate rising loan obligations, though it may be too little too late. The final nail is in place, and Ubisoft's coffin is being slowly lowered into a grave of its own making. Ubisoft of old, once a titan of gaming, and is on an unmistakable path to its demise. Yeah, let me tell you, man. Ubisoft, they made the Far Cry games, Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, Tom made Splinter Cell, Ghost Recon. Those were good games, man. Those were good game titles. But of course, years have passed, and since they decided to go woke with identity politics, DEI, into these games, like the Division, Star Wars Outlaws, and then now Assassin's Creed Shadows. Well, I could say that they just did a good. They did a real good job on that, but they really did a poor job on sales, and it's what they deserve, bro. That's what they deserve. A lot of these companies have been poisoned by Sweet Baby Ink, man, influencers. They've been poisoned by these activists that want to bring all the political nonsense into gaming, and that's what they deserve, bro. So I say this now, I say this again. You go woke, you will go broke. So let's continue on this. As of this week, Ubisoft stock is trading at just 8.803 euro on Euronext Paris as of this writing. It's down more than 21% in just the last 5 days and nearly 58% from a year ago. The company's total market cap has sunk to roughly 1.25 billion, making it worth less on paper than the debt it still owes. It's a financial black hole, and the cause is clear. The recently announced deal with Tencent to form a new subsidiary holding three of Ubisoft's most valuable properties, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six, was meant to be a lifetime. Instead, it's being seen as an act of corporate cannibalism. Tencent paid 1.16 billion for a 20% stake in the new sub, which Ubisoft claims gives the entity of a pre-money valuation of 4 billion euro, but that valuation hasn't reassured shareholders. Quite the opposite. Oh yeah, it has done completely worse. Following the deal's announcement, the Ubisoft stock plunged over 24% as a panic set in across the investors' base. Critics say the structure of the agreement was designed to avoid triggering a mandatory public office offer, keeping power consolidated with the Guillemot family, who now hold less than 10% of Ubisoft's total economic interest. Now a revolt is underway. A minority shareholder, AJ Investments, along with a growing coalition, has issued an open letter demanding legal action on the shareholder vote. The letter calls on a French court to force Ubisoft to hold an extraordinary general meeting to vote on two proposed resolutions. The restructure the Tencent deal as a direct asset sale worth no less than 4 billion, distribute an extraordinary dividend of 23 euro per share in cash, totaling 3 billion to shareholders. The letter accuses Ubisoft leadership of acting unilaterally and shielding the deal from shareholder input, stating shareholders have no clarity how the deal that was announced last week would eventually benefit shareholders of Ubisoft. This signals a clear verdict from the investors. The proposed deal is deeply flawed, structured to bypass mandatory publics, offers rules, and it's designed to entrench control by the Guillemot family, dude. AJ Investments is also seeking to restrict Tencent from voting on the matter and limit the Guillemot family's influence in the outcome, citing conflicts of interest and erosion of shareholder rights. At this point, Ubisoft is in a tailspin. The company has not only lost investor trust, but is now facing the possibility of court-mandated interference in its internal governance. If the EGM is granted, it could lead to a historic shareholder vote that determines whether Ubisoft's core franchises are sold off entirely, or if leadership will be forced to pay out billions to appease stakeholders. And all of this comes as a whisper of further layoffs continue to build, with Assassin's Creed Shadows underperforming and other titles failing to stabilize revenues. Insiders believe June and July could bring the most devastating round of cuts yet. Ubisoft has entered an uncharted territory, which what happens next may not only decide its fate, but could reshape the industry's understanding of corporate unaccountability in gaming. Well, like I said, man, Ubisoft has put themselves in a real bad spot, man. I believe if Ubisoft would have just listened to the gamers and not get involved being political and all, I think the games that they had recent would have made money, man. It would have made more money than ever, bro. But no, they decided to give the gamers the finger. That's what they got, what they deserved, bro. That's what they got, what they deserved. I miss those titles, bro. I miss Splinter Cell. I have the Splinter Cell games. I got part 1 and part 2. So I may need to start playing them again so that I can show you guys how good these games were, man. If you guys have never seen Splinter Cell. But like I said, dude, I mean, this has been Ubisoft's been in a bad spot, man. Part of me feels sorry for them, man, but another part of me is saying, you got what you deserve, Ubisoft. Got what you deserve. Well, that's going to be it for this article. So you guys let me know in the comments what you guys think. So please share this video, post a comment below, let me know your thoughts. Do you think Ubisoft's going to survive this? Or do you think Ubisoft has finally learned their lesson, bro, into going with political nonsense? You guys let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for watching this video. Thank you for being part of the channel. And I will be seeing you all until next time. Bye for now.